Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children, I welcome you all to our online English class. In today's class, we are going to be seeing a lesson from your Moments English book. The Beggar, the chapter 10 of your Moments English book, The Beggar, written by Anton Chekhov. So this lesson is about a beggar and how his life is being transformed. Who made this transformation? How was it possible? Is the lesson. Let us go and find out what is there in the lesson, children. Kind sir, have pity. Turn your attention to a poor hungry man. So the first scene is we are seeing a beggar, and this is the call of the beggar. He is asking, kind men, why don't you come and help me? For 3 days I have had nothing to eat. I haven't 5 kopecks for a lodging. I swear it before God. So this man, beggar, he is telling he didn't have any money. Kopecks is the monetary value of Russia. Okay. So kopecks is a monetary value of Russia and it is 1/100th of a ruble. For lodging, which means what, he didn't have any money, okay, to pay rent for his house. I swear it before God. So he is telling, I swear that I don't have any money. For 8 years I was a village school teacher and then I lost my place through intrigues. I fell a victim to calumny. So what he is telling that he was a school teacher, okay, and he has lost his job because of some internal politics, okay. So there was some problems. He became the victim. Victim is a person who is affected by any problem, okay. The affected person is called as a victim. And he was affected to what? He was affected to calumny. Calumny means you talking ill about something, okay, in order to spoil their reputation. That is called as calumny. So I will write it here. Speaking ill, okay, to spoil their reputation. So this man fell a victim, okay, to calumny and he lost his job. It is a year now since I have had anything to do. The advocate Sergei looked at the ragged, fawn-colored overcoat of the suppliant, at his dull, drunken eyes, at the red spot on either cheek, and it seemed to him as if he had seen this man somewhere before. So now we come to an introduction of a person, the advocate Sergei. Sergei is a person and he is now paying attention to this beggar. And this beggar looked, he was ragged. Ragged means what? Torn clothes. He was wearing torn clothes and fawn colored. Fawn colored is some tarnish yellow color, cream, okay. Tarnish yellow color is fawn colored overcoat of the suppliant. So this beggar was wearing some yellow color, tarnish yellow color overcoat, and his dress were ragged and he was looking dull, and he is reminded, okay, of this appearance. He thinks that he had seen this appearance somewhere else before. I have now had an offer of a position in the province of Kaluga. The mendicant went on, but I haven't the money to get there. So he is telling, he is explaining to Sergei, the beggar is explaining to Sergei about his condition. He is telling, I have got a job offer, okay, in the province of Kaluga, but I am not able to reach there because I haven't any money, or I don't have any money, said this beggar. Help me kindly, I am ashamed to ask, but I am obliged to by my circumstances. So this man is telling, beggar is telling, I am ashamed to ask alms, okay, I am ashamed to ask money to somebody else, but no other go, I have no other go. I am obliged means what? My position is such, I have no other go just to ask somebody. Sergei's eye fell on the man's overshoes, one of which was high and the other was low, and suddenly remembered something. So Sergei was paying attention to this appearance because already, okay, he was having some suspicion that he had seen this man somewhere else. So he was paying attention to his appearance, and he noted that the one shoe was looking a bit high and the other was low, and suddenly remembered something. Look here, it seems to me I met you the day before yesterday in Sadovia Street, he said. So he is telling, I have already seen you, please stop, okay, speaking. I have already seen you in Sadovia Street. But you told me then that you were a student who had been expelled and not a village school teacher. Do you remember? So that time Sergei had already met this man in some other street and some other day. So that time this beggar had claimed himself to be a student and he had been expelled from the school. Expelled means what? Thrown out of the school because of behavior. No, that can't be so, mumbled the beggar, taken aback. I am a village school teacher, and if you like, I can show you my papers. So this beggar is not willing to accept. No, that cannot be true. I was never a student. I am just a school teacher. And if you are not willing to trust me, I would like to show you my papers and prove you that I am a school teacher. Have done with lying. You called yourself a student and even told me what you had been expelled for. So this man is telling, okay, now stop of your lying, because when I saw you the last time, you were telling me the reasons for why you were expelled from the school, and I very clearly remember your appearance and your reasons. Don't you remember? Sergei flushed and turned from the rat creature with an expression of disgust. Disgust means what? He was disappointed to the maximum possible. He didn't want to see that beggar no more because he was lying. He was not actually pathetic. He was making his condition look pathetic and he was waiting for the sympathy of others. So this man, Sergei, was disgusted by the beggar's approach. This is dishonesty, my dear sir, he cried angrily. This is swindling. I shall send the police for you, damn you. So this man is angry. Sergei is already an advocate, okay, and he is angry, and so he is telling, okay, what you are doing is dishonest. It is not what is true, and I would also call the police for your misbehavior, and you have been swindling. Swindling means what? Cheating. Okay, cheating in order to take others' possession, or cheating for money. I am writing the meaning here. Cheating someone for money is called as swindling. Money or possession. Sir, he said, laying his hand on his heart, this fact is, I was lying. I am neither a student nor a school teacher. All that was a fiction. So now the beggar, okay, he is caught red-handed. He was not able to prove himself. So he is telling, okay sir, I am sorry. He put his hand on his heart and he was telling, sir, I was lying. I am neither a school teacher nor a student. And all of this was a fiction. All of this wasn't story. I had fabricated all this story in order to get money. Formerly, I sang in a Russian choir and was sent away for drunkenness. But what else can I do? I can't get along without lying. So he is telling, sir, the truth is I was in the Russian choir. They sent me away because I was a drunkard and they didn't want me there. And what will I do? How could I earn money? No one will give me anything when I tell the truth. What can I do? What can you do? You ask, what can you do? Cried Sergei, coming close to him. Work. That's what you can do. You must work. So this beggar was asking, what can I do, sir? How can I get money? Then Sergei got irritated. He was telling, why are you even asking me what to do? If you want money, go and work, why do you ask others? And that too by saying the false things. Okay, you are not trustworthy also. Work, yes, I know that myself, but where can I find work? How would you like to chop wood for me? I wouldn't refuse to do that, but in these days, even a skilled woodcutters find themselves sitting without a brick. So this man was telling, yeah, I know work would fetch me money, but who is going to give me work? How will I get employed? Who is ready to give me a job? Nobody is there. And Sagai is telling, okay, I am willing to give you a job. Would you come and chop woods at my place? So he is telling, chop woods? Do you think that is possible? Even the skilled workers, even though they have professionally trained themselves, even those people are sitting there idle, and how do you think I'd get a job as a woodcutter? Will you come and chop wood for me? Yes, sir, I will. Very well. We'll soon find out. Sergei hastened along, rubbing his hands. He called his cook out of the kitchen. Here, Olga, he said, take this gentleman into the woodshed and let him chop the wood. So this man, Sergei, was telling, oh, why do you bother all those sellers and all those woodcutters, professional skillers? Why are you even bothered? Would you come and chop wood for me? And this man is telling, okay, I would do, I accept your offer. And they both are going to the Sergei's house. And in Sergei's house, he is calling for Olga. Olga is a cook of Sergei, and he is telling Olga to guide this gentleman to the place to chop wood. The scarecrow of a beggar shrugged his shoulders as if in a perplexity and went irresolutely after the cook. So this beggar shrugged his shoulders, okay, and as if in perplexity. Perplexity means confusion, not interested, okay, and went irresolutely. Irresolutely means what? He didn't have any interest, or he didn't know, he was uncertain. Irresolutely means uncertain about the job or uncertain about what he was going to do. It was obvious from his gait that he had not consented to go and chop wood because he was hungry and wanted work. So it was obvious from his gait. Gait means his style of walk. Gait is the way in which he walked. So the beggar walked in such a way, his gait proved that that man was having zero interest in going and chopping wood and earning money. Okay, he didn't accept the job because he was hungry, okay, or wanted work, but just simply from pride and shame, and because he had been trapped by his own words. So this man, okay, this beggar, he has consented to work, he has agreed to work, not because he was hungry, not because he wanted to work or protect his pride, but because he was trapped red-handed, okay, he wanted to escape that situation. So that is the reason why he accepted to chop wood for Sergei. It was obvious too that his strength had been undermined by vodka and that he was unhealthy and did not feel the slightest inclination for toil. So we already know this man was a drunkard. So his strength were undermined. Undermined means what? He had been drinking for long years, so his health, okay, was declining. He was not in good health, okay, and he was unhealthy and he didn't have the slightest inclination. Slightest inclination means what? He didn't have any interest for toil. Toil means hard work. Okay, hard work means what? Work which had to be done with all of physical strength. Chopping wood requires all physical strength, and this man's strength is being extracted because he had been drinking, okay, and he didn't have interest also to work. Sergei hurried into the dining room. From its windows, one could see the woodshed and everything that went on in the yard. Standing at the window, Sergei saw the cook and the beggar come out into the yard by the back door and make their way across the dirty snow to the shed. So, Sergei, what he did, he went to the dining room. From the dining room window, he would be able to see what is happening in the wood shed when he saw this Olga and this man were moving out of the wood shed. Olga glared wrathfully at her companion, shoved him aside with her elbow, unlocked the shed and angrily banged the door. Olga glared. Glad means what? She gave a stare. Glad means staring or looking. And she was staring wrathfully. Okay? She didn't know what to do, utter confusion. She was depressed. Wrathfully means what? A distressed look at her companion. Okay, here companion is a beggar. Shoved him aside. Shoved him means what? A slight push is called as shoved. She pushed him aside with her elbow, unlocked the shed and angrily banged the door. Next he saw the pseudo teacher seat himself on a leg and become lost in thought with his red cheeks resting on his fist. So what was happening? She thought, okay, after he goes into the wood shed, he would be working on it. But the next thing was, this lady saw this beggar. Pseudo teacher is a beggar. Pseudo means false. Here it's a false teacher. This beggar had claimed himself to be a teacher. Yes or no? So he is been called as a pseudo teacher. So this beggar was sitting with his face resting on the fist and he was lost in thoughts. The woman flung down an axe at his feet, spat angrily and judging from the expression of her lips began to scold him. So what this meant was, this woman became angry. Okay, Olga became angry at the sight because this man had been rescued from some place and had been given some job offer in order to thrive, but this man is sitting and he is lost in his thoughts. So what she is doing, she flung an axe. Flung means what? She threw the axe down and she spat angrily. She gave a tap angrily and she started scolding. The beggar irresolutely put a billet of wood towards him, set it up between his feet and tapped it feebly with an axe. So because this lady was scolding him, what he did, he immediately took a billet. A billet is a piece of wood. A billet of wood means what? A piece of wood which is to be chopped. So he is taking a billet of wood and he is putting it in between his feet and he was feebly. Feebly means what? With no energy, with no strength or weakly. Or slowly, can we say he was tapping the wood slowly. If you have to chop a wood, you have to jab it. Okay, you cannot keep feebly touching on it. The billet wavered and fell down. The beggar again pulled it to him, blew on his freezing hands and tapped it with his axe cautiously as if afraid of hitting his overshoe or of cutting off his finger. The stick of wood again fell to the ground. So what he was doing, he took the billet and this time he was trying to hit on it and even then it slipped away. And this man was doing it very cautiously that he didn't want to hit himself. So we will continue the remaining part of the lesson in our next session, children. Please do subscribe our online YouTube channel for more updates. Thank you, children.